Hello, my name is Ryan, and I'll be one of your attendants on this journey. Thank you for taking the time to learn how various institutions engage students on campus. Meet the rest of our team. Our final destination is the second year of our higher education master's program.
Before we officially become the second year cohort, it is necessary to gain practical and reflective experiences in student affairs. Therefore, we will visit a variety of institutions, both in the United States and across the pond in the UK.
During each visit, we will analyze institutional commitment to student engagement, looking closely at the institution's mission, vision, values, faculty, staff, and financial resources dedicated to student activities, organizations and societies, including space allocation, and finally, we will learn how students actually engage on campus, looking at the relation between campus involvement and students' extracurricular experience, involved student demographics, and the ways in which students influence institutional decisions.
Our research is based on the definition of student engagement provided by George Koo in 2009. According to Koo, student engagement represents the time and effort students devote to activities that are empirically linked to desired outcomes of college, and what institutions do to induce students to participate in these activities.
Keep in mind that we will be visiting some unique campuses and that the experience can be very different depending on which campus we are at. As we cannot predict what the weather will be or what the conditions will be when we arrive, we ask that you keep your seatbelts on and locked in their fastened positions at all times. Thank you, and please enjoy the flight.
Our first stop is the gorgeous University of South Florida, St. Petersburg. Established in 1965, USF St currently enrolls approximately 4,000 undergraduates and 500 graduate students.
At USF St Petersburg, we had the opportunity to hear from a panel of Student Affairs Administration. Dwayne Isaacs, Director of Student Life and Engagement, mentioned that the institution's commitment to student engagement is very strong, explaining the role of the institution's Student Enrollment Management Group and Student Experience Team, which advocate for students to ensure they get the most of their 4 years through extracurricular involvement. Through a program called Compass, incoming freshmen can pair with a peer coach to help them get engaged in student activities on campus. USFSP is currently working to strengthen their mobile platform and OrgSync to make it easier for students to discover involvement opportunities through student organizations and campus activities.
Our second stop is New College of Florida. New College was founded as a private college, but is now a public liberal arts honors college located on the waterfront in Sarasota, Florida. Founded in 1960, New College currently enrolls approximately 860 undergraduates, with a plan to increase that number by 50% by the year 2023.
At New College of Florida, Dean of Student Affairs Robin Williamson opened our visit by sharing with us that New College is pioneering student affairs. The Student Activities and Campus Engagement, or SACE office, has just turned 1 year old. Working with independent students with a great deal of agency, the office is hoping to increase collaboration and partnerships between students and student affairs. In pursuit of this effort, student organizations were required to complete constitutions and rosters this past fall for the very first time. While they currently utilize paper sign-in sheets, they are launching Campus Lab software in June.
Our third stop is Hillsboro Community College, Dale Mabry campus. Hillsboro is a 2-year community college located in the Hillsboro County, Tampa, Florida. The community college has 5 different campuses throughout the county, with Dale Mabry being the largest. Founded in 1968, Hillsboro as a whole enrolls approximately 43,000 students, while Dale Mabry, founded in 1970, enrolls just over 20,000 students.
At Hillsboro Community College, we were greeted by Steve Crudup, the Student Activities Coordinator and the Student Government Advisor. We had the opportunity to sit and speak directly with Steve to gain a better understanding of what student engagement means on the Hillsboro campus. Steve shared with us that the Student Government Association serves as the Campus Activities Board and is extremely engaged in planning engagement opportunities for students. Steve also noted that the campus is working to grow the Student Affairs office and presence on campus.
Our fourth and final stop of the American leg of our trip is the University of Tampa. The University of Tampa is a medium-sized private university of about 8,300 students. Located in the center of Tampa, the campus has undergone massive transformation over the past 20 years, from a primarily commuter-based school to now a flourishing campus community.
At University of Tampa, we were greeted by the Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Stephanie Krebs, and Assistant Director of Leadership Engagement, Anna Maya Wales. Dr. Krebs provided an introduction, then explained how Student Affairs has evolved into a greater institutional priority as a result of its steady enrollment increases over the past 21 years. Then, we split off into small groups and sat down with Anna and Ryan Burns. There, we learned that the staff, spaces, and policy to properly support the number of students at Tampa haven't quite caught up to the enrollment boom. Still, they feel that Student Affairs at Tampa is financially well supported, and that the lack of space to grant fraternities and sororities chapter houses, student organizations more offices, and a clear and welcome student center space is largely due to being in the middle of the city of Tampa. Additionally, they noted, since the new Vice President of Student Affairs role came about, it has helped propel the changes and resources necessary to provide excellent programs and services. In fact, the new VPSA role was instrumental in bringing a new FSL coordinator in to support a community that has almost tripled in size over the past 5 years. Lastly, they noted that the culture of student organizations at University of Tampa is very autonomous. Students are self-empowered to lead their organizations with less involvement from staff. For example, their Peace Center, an organization that coordinates the university's volunteering and community service opportunities, is entirely student-run.
Now that we've had the opportunity to visit 4 different types of institutions in the United States, it's time to cross the pond and visit institutions in the UK.
Our fifth stop, but first in England, is St Mary's University. St Mary's is a public research university located in Strawberry Hill, Twickenham in southwest London. Approximately 4,200 undergraduates and 1,400 graduate students attend St. Mary's.
Often the heart of engagement at U.S. institutions, student unions in British higher education differ in structure while still encouraging student leadership. At St. Mary's University, we learned the 3 executive positions within the student union are filled by students in their final year who will hold the full-time paid roles upon their graduation. The student union is also seen and organized as an entity entirely separate from the university, though university staff do attempt to guide and influence the union as needed. While the student union president sits in on meetings with administration to advocate for the student voice, the other student union officers are responsible for the administration of different societies and initiatives. Student engagement at St. Mary's is seen mostly in sports and academic societies. While some of these are free, others have an associated fee. Overall, St. Mary's has seen a decrease in campus engagement outside of academics. Staff believe this may be due to the implementation of a tuition fee at universities across England, which pushes students to make the most out of their educational experience and potentially have to work in order to fund their education, drawing focus and time away from extracurricular involvement.
On to our sixth location, Goldsmiths University of London. Goldsmiths is located in New Cross, London, and is one of the few colleges to have its own campus. It is well known for its film and media programs and currently serves almost 9,000 students.
At Goldsmiths, we had the pleasure of learning about the very active student union. Leaders here are very involved in activism and politics, with efforts currently underway to make both societies and academic curriculum more diverse and inclusive. From the university perspective, Goldsmiths Director of Student Engagement, Tobin Webb, shared that there are 3 spheres or sectors of student engagement: academic, social, and college life, which should all work together and overlap to contribute to identity, belonging, and community for students. Goldsmith staff and students were also very aware of the gaps in engagement between Black, minority, and ethnic students, commuter students, and students of lower socioeconomic status. They are currently in the process of collecting information regarding who is and who is not attending events in an effort to address these engagement gaps.
Our second to last stop is none other than Oxford University, which is located in, you guessed it, Oxford, England. It is regarded as the oldest English-speaking institution of higher education. With over 23,000 students spanning 38 separate colleges, Oxford certainly lives up to its reputation.
Oxford University's student union system differs greatly from the likes of St. Mary's and Goldsmiths, while still providing a central hub for student engagement. The university structure is unique. A central Oxford University exists as an umbrella organization over 38 individual, semi-autonomous colleges. We visited the Wadham College campus, where we were met by Mike Froggett, whose job functions similar to a registrar. He explained how Oxford's complex structure affects student engagement. The biggest organizations, such as high-performing sports clubs, fall under Oxford University, while each campus's junior common room, similar to a typical student union in England, supports smaller college-based societies, usually related to academic discipline, but sometimes extending to identity groups and activity-based groups. A central student union exists, but much of the authority and activities that impact student life flow from individual colleges' junior common rooms. A notable program called Queer Week comes from Central Oxford University and takes place largely on Wadham College's campus. This is because Wadham has had a history and culture of being LGBTQ+ inclusive. Additionally, Freshers Week, the equivalent of a Welcome Week, is planned by students in conjunction with the university. There, they attempt to acclimate students to campus and host a fair for all of the clubs and societies to recruit new members. Recently, students helped implement and deliver diversity and equality trainings during Freshers Week, which serves as another example of the working relationship between Oxford University, its individual colleges, and their corresponding student union and junior common rooms.
Our 8th and final stop is the lovely University of Kent. With 3 campuses across England and 4 more in Paris, Athens, Brussels, and Rome, the University of Kent provides exceptional academics for its population of almost 20,000 students.
At the University of Kent, we had the opportunity to hear about student engagement from the postgraduate perspective. For these students, it was clear that engagement comes at a cost, and it is perceived that the more involved students are often the wealthier students on campus. Postgraduates also think that postgraduate engagement needs much improvement, and graduate representatives to the student union were just recently added. On the other hand, at the undergraduate level, the 250 societies and organizations contribute to a very involved student body. As with other British universities, sports societies tend to be the most popular way for students to get involved. However, societies overall are considered to be one of the primary ways students meet new people and build a sense of community on campus.
Well, folks, it's about that time. We have reached our destination. You are now a second year in the higher education program at Florida State University. Congratulations. We hope you've enjoyed this flight, and we hope you've learned a lot.